2020 in movie trailers, the year of what's wrong with dad. Dad's not good enough, dad didn't measure up, dad let down the family, the man ran away from the scene of a crime, an accident, it's causing trouble, dad's a buffoon, he's not to be trusted. I saw a lot of movie trailers. Ghostbusters 2020. Who the hell wants to watch a bunch of kids do anything? Look at those kids. You want to watch those kids do anything? I don't want to watch kids do anything in a movie. Ghostbusters. It's about three kinds of weird guys. There's, Peter Venkman. He's a shyster, pervert guy, girl chaser. And then there's the nerd dork guy. And he'd be like the gamer guy. And that's Dan Aykroyd. And then there's Egon, he's weirdo, like certified weirdo. And then there's Winston Zedmore, that's you. You're nobody. And that's Ghostbusters. So here's Ghostbusters 3, a bunch of kids and Paul Rudd. Well, you gotta pass, why? The torch of Ghostbusters? There's no torch of Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is those guys. The more dead they become, it's like when Monty Python went on. Keep doing it. But, there's no Monty, we're Monty Python, we're going to do those sketches, we're new guys. No, you can't do the dead parrot sketch and be other people. Only when they're all dead as a tribute. Alright, so when the next virus comes out and they get rid of another Monty Python member or whatever the virus is named after. I don't know, I can't think of their names. So the point is, I saw a lot of movie trailers. The movies are all about dissolution of the family, breakdown of the family. The romantic movies are about the superfluousness of men in the romance, and they're just accoutrements to the woman's wants and desire. It's in the trailers. Everything's terrible. The gamification of life. I'm going to go through genres. Okay. There's people that are empowered using magic. There's a lot of where the worlds and magic and science blur together. Disney, Pixar's Onward. What happened to Dad? And it's all about, we don't need Dad. Dad's dead and gone, and we don't even need his memory anymore. We can do just fine without him. And it's about killing the father. Did I say about A Quiet Place already? You just have to erase that the dad was a hero. I mean, it's okay to be a sacrifice. Men have to do that in movies now, be sacrificed. But like Kylo Ren, like Hugo in Sabrina the Teenage Witch, like the guy in Midsummer they put inside the bear or whatever. Everyone, all the men must be sacrificed. And also, you know what? They're kind of not good dudes. Maybe they're like Will Ferrell, who abandoned his family from Avalanche. Maybe they're like Javier Bardem, curled up like Jordan Peterson in a ball. Oh, I have to go back to my room. Maybe I should just stay here for a while. Maybe I need a journey of self-discovery and medication, and everybody needs to be vulnerable. Oh, that was another theme I noticed was very popular in 2020 trailers, which is creepy. It's the idea of fall, but it makes sense. I'm going to explain it away. You're the victim. Here's these regular people, and they weren't doing anything, and it transcends genre. There's like a comedy movie like this where a horribly miscast couples with no chemistry. It's a black chick and a Pakistani rich brat kid guy together, and so a white dude kills somebody in their car, and they get blamed. And of course, this is just the trailer. The guy runs away, and his wife's like, "Why are you running away, you coward?" And it's a thing that people are talking about this year. Doctor Who, the men always run away. I don't watch it, I just hear other people talk about the things. It's a popular theme. Men not doing anything, not fighting, and just abandoning, and the women have to do everything. It's like Star Wars The Force Awakens all over again, where Han and Luke went off and let Princess Leia handling the galaxy alone, and she didn't even get to keep the dog, which now we find out Chewbacca is not at all a Hertzu Mexican man in space or symbol thereof. He's literally a dog. Oh, he's just going to go along with whoever. Doesn't he have a wife and a family and they're not real, it doesn't matter. But they don't want to talk about Chewie's family and why he doesn't go home. Is he in some kind of homoerotic indentured servitude to Harrison Ford as a CIA mind control operative to protect him when he would sell? I'm gonna stop. The movie, Jack London's Call of the Wild. It's about his times in dens in Peru and the flesh pots of Southeast Asia, where he's looking to oil up brown boys that don't have parents. Wait a minute, that was Jack London's diaries. I'm getting confused. Okay, so Call of the Wild is about dogs. Yes. Computer animation. It's still as ugly as shit. What was something that was a highlight of the trailers? There's a couple things. Only because like things are so bad now that things that look like they might be fun or just looked different and not like everything else stood out. So the one thing that stood out notably, SpongeBob trailer. Computer animation that went for a different look. I don't think it's funny. SpongeBob, it's annoying. Alright? But it was appealing to look at because I was like, yeah, every movie should be not like this, but like something different, as opposed to all the movies looking the same. There were so many animated trailers for family movies in 2020, and they didn't need to be cartoons. It was just ugly people shaped like bowling pins and shit. Like one's big at the top and tiny at the bottom. One's tiny at the bottom like a pear, and whatever. Everything is ugly, and it's just people yelling and bickering at each other. Who the hell wants to watch a CG animated cartoon about Will Smith as a secret agent and the kid that loves him? Who gives a fuck? That's this. I know anything can be an idea, but and it is. Everything is an idea, and they're making it. There's gonna be a guy running around with shoulder pads with a girl in a teacup. I'm telling you. They'll call it something else, but everything's being made. Okay, it's gonna be like this. There's gonna be a future with augmented reality, and nobody gets to be together. But if you like somebody, you'll make them like a little augmented reality of their day, where they're like a table in some brothel where they just get down on all fours and get covered in loads, and then you give them an augmented reality where all day long they're dreaming they're eating tasty delights and stuff like that. And you're like, wow, you must really care about me. I know how hard it must have been to program that I was at a beautiful banquet and I was eating delicious cakes and, you know, and getting medicine pumped into my asshole, and it was great instead of what I was really living. And they're like, what? And then they get caught, and it's like Brave New World in 1984 all over again. Wait a minute, why are you so happy? We like you to be broken. Why were you holding together as a table? You didn't have a breakdown today. You're like, nothing. And they find out the augmented reality chip. Do you have a lover? Does someone care about you? Did they try to make your insufferable existence more tolerable? We want you to look at visions of death and hell while we rape you in your augmented reality. It's just a sex slave. It's the future. That's the Matrix. So anyway, movie trailers I saw for family films, and the bell ringing means you know it's true. They're ugly. They didn't even need to be animated. It was just dumb stuff. It was just like bickering and like, here's another movie about animals on adventure, the dissolution of a family. Oh, fuck that. Other themes I noticed in movies, before I forget. Young people, like, no men can mentor a woman or be a father figure. That's done. So in its places, well, how about an older woman teaching me stuff? No, the movies with older women being mentored by younger women are like this competitive thing where you're not supposed to trust anybody. So here's the themes. If you have kids, you can't trust your kids. There's some kind of demon seed. They're evil. They're not to be trusted. And the mom is the only one that knows what's going on. And the dad is a buffoon. He's inept. He's in denial. He ignores it. But kid with a knife. 2020 is year of kid with a knife. Year of you are the victim. You are wrongly accused. There's a lot of movies like this. A lot of trailers where the movie's about people who didn't do anything wrong and are caught in the middle of a situation where nobody believes them. And they're on the run, or they're being hunted by a gang, or they're the victim. Like Harry Potter has guns drilled to his hand and he's a victim. Guess what? You're going to be hunted down by the 98-pound killing machine, blonde-haired, blue-eyed bitch, and everything is bullshit like this. When I see movies that were supposed to be like romantic comedies, it was always about, like, even in a trailer, it was like one woman's narcissistic journey and a guy that didn't even seem like he could act. He's just like, hi, I'm standing here. And I was like, what are they? Is he an athlete or something? Because usually you could tell, like, when they put athletes in movies, they're terrible. They have, like, athletes are glazed over. They're like, yes, I know. And I don't know. Athletes in movies stand out like a hemorrhoid on your ass. You just want them out of there. Like they ruin everything they're in. There's really nothing good to come of them. Do you really want to scratch a hemorrhoid? No, disgusting. So, movie trailers, themes. You can't trust an older woman if you're a woman. If you're a young woman, don't trust older women. And nobody should trust anybody. Can I just say it like that? And nobody should trust anybody, but if anybody's a couple, they have to be mixed. No couple of people that are the same race are going to stay together in anything. Unless it's like an all black thing or all brown people thing, then that's okay. But if you're white, you cannot be with another white person. It's as simple as that. If you are white in 2020 trailers, don't believe me? Check it. And if they are together, one of them's gonna die or betray the other one. The men as betrayers, toxic men, they fail, they're dead, they are superfluous, they are on a futile quest, they just can't measure up, they just can't cut the mustard, and daughters understand. It's a movie about how dad failed me. There's so much stuff, and then there's just the pointless action gamification of life nonsense. I've noticed something. Action movies, that what used to be action movies aimed for men, has become its own insular, isolated world where everybody's seen everything, everybody's done everything, it's all possible, so ho-ham. But think about this. If you showed Expendables 3 to somebody the week that Cobra came out, from 1980, Sylvester Stallone in Cobra, where he plays Marion Cobretti. It's a canon movie. People make fun of it because it's weird. He has like a big knife. And so anyway, if you went back into the 1980s and showed them Expendables 3, they were like, this is a 73-year-old and whatever, Arnold and Sly and all these other guys, and I don't know who those guys are. And like, oh, they'll be big stars in the future. It's Jason Statham, and that's, I don't know, John Cena and Chuck Norris, and they're like, whatever. And you're like, wow, that's really something. Look at, I can't believe, how old are these guys? Look at the stuff, it's amazing. These guys are still doing it. And then the answer would be, no, like, they made a solid film, they had the money, they had the clout to get it done, they had things done their way. But basically, action films is a small, unless you're a 98-pound killing machine lady, men fighting each other, it's just like an isolated insular world where it's like these bad guys are fighting these bad guys, but these bad guys are kind of the good guys, or the bad guy, you know what I mean? It's like they're all these like their own little conflicts, and then beyond that it's just like spy movies and military stuff. Tom Cruise, Twin Peaks, what is it called? Top Gun. Tom Cruise Top Gun trailer. That just went right over. That doesn't, I don't know what that's supposed to mean to me, because that just flew right over my head like a Tom Cruise jet, because I don't even remember anything about that shit. And but I did notice, like, it's all about, everything's still deconstruction, but it's further. Like, if there's a couple that are married, here's two people, they're married, either they're murderers or maniacs, they get caught up in somebody dying, and that's a comedy now. People that are married and their marriage is tested when murder is brought into their lives, that's funny, and then they decide to worship Satan. There's something about like old comedians, like in a magical bathtub, and it's like all just about blasphemies, attacking Christianity or something probably. And it's like, wow, nothing's any good. It just, and not because like, oh, you're against anything against the Bible or whatever. Not even that. It's just not any good. Everything's hollow and empty and vapid and going through the motions. But look at how the production value and the quality looks great. But then when you watch the movie, the effects are wonky and it doesn't match up. Some of the trailers that I saw looked like the CG wasn't finished in the trailer, and they were like effects heavy things, and it was so highly noticeable. I thought, is this trailer supposed to be out yet, or they don't give a fuck for 2020 movies? You know what I'm talking about? It's weird. Oh, one of the other highlights, there was highlights, they mentioned SpongeBob and all that shit. I can't remember, I did this episode over so many times. The other movie was like a sequel to Around the World in 80 Days or something. and it had Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jackie Chan, and they were in a movie, and it looked like wasn't agenda driven. Like, oh look, there's a Chinese woman playing the, I'll pretend to be a boy bit, and it was very transparent right in the trailer, so you knew that was happening. So it's not a surprise. It's not forced, you know, whamming things or SJW stuff or whatever. It just looked like a movie. Like, here's why people go to the movies. There's all, you know, like traveling the world and I don't know, whatever the fuck. It just looked like a sweeping epic, big forgettable nonsense, nothing. But it seemed like, oh, this could be some manner of escapism because it's set in the olden days, and it's a venture around the globe. And again, there's Jackie Chan and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, they're already stars, so you don't have to look for like a star quality. And I'm sure it's full of other famous asshole cameos throughout the way. I've never seen any of those things. But SpongeBob, that looked different. The thing with Arnold and Jackie, I was like, yes, this looks like something like an old type of movie because they're in it. Where they were like, no, you need to have this and that so people will see it. And they're right. So the trailer was kind of interesting, even though it's going to be a shit film. Horror movies, everything's about demons and devils and deaths and sacrifices, and there's powers and magical, like, you have power now, and it's all about, like, forget about the mutants and X-Men stuff. I saw that. I killed 18 men. I'm like, yawn. It's so boring. Everything's like I'm a badass person that's a murderer. The Guardians of the Galaxy were sitcom stars in the most expensive sitcom in cinema history. In Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2, the Outer Space Family, we got one everybody. It's the Noah's Space Ark. And we can't get along that great, and we just walk in and out of spaceships insulting each other. It's a sitcom. It's outer space. Sitcom. So I see the sitcomification of movies. I see the gamification of movies. Again, all this leads to streaming. And the funniness. Like, I remember when I tried to put like gore and humor together, and I thought, this doesn't work. And they kept doing it and didn't stop. And the movies like Tropic Thunder came out, and I kind of hated it. I was like, God, I fucking hate this with all the gore, like really gory gore, and it's funny. And I'm like, yeah, this doesn't go together or something. It's weird, you know, because there's part that's real. None of it's real, but you know what I mean? There's part of like real gore and horror, and then it's supposed to be funny, like you're supposed to laugh at that. And it didn't work. My whole life watching it evolve. And I think it doesn't matter if people like it or not. It's one of those things they're going to keep on doing till people are desensitized to it. And that's how you get like stuff on TV, like the movie with the guy who plays Harry Potter, where he has guns drilled to his hand and he has to fight in a death match. So yeah, they want to desensitize us to the horrors of that could be inflicted around us in movies and then in life, and then make you think you're the avatar, you're the character in your movie that you watch. So the programming people, you don't need to develop properly. You don't need a hero's arc or a character's journey, because you might do something and then you might want to stand up and be heroic or be good or do the right thing, and we can't have any of that. So 2020, a year of filth, and don't worry, we're not done yet, and specifically of further attacking men. And if you are a white man, just get the fuck out of town. Just get out of the, they want you to kill yourselves. They want you to kill yourself like John the Savage. They literally do. Aldous Huxley wrote that book in 1932, and John was so beside himself because of how mad the world became, he mistakenly thought that that was an option, which it never was. But that's Aldous Huxley's story. He's an asshole. I saw a trailer for ScoobyDoo. They did ScoobyDoo origin story. Another thing that had like a unique, like they're finally figuring out how to do CG things in different styles. But when I thought about it for a minute, I was like, wait a minute. The SpongeBob thing and the Spider-Man multiverse thing, remember that with Miles Morales? And the Scooby-Doo thing, no, it's like a new next gen of whatever they can do with 3D modeling or whatever. It's more like AutoCADing on a computer than it is than making a cartoon or whatever. But I noticed that there's the sameness of those things. So, and the frame rates are different. The way the SpongeBob thing was weird to me. And I'm like, yeah, it doesn't move, it doesn't animate fully, but it could. It doesn't animate seamlessly. It has like this, I was like, yeah, it's like that Spider-Man movie that moved weird. The cartoon one that had Spider-Verse. That's what, Into the Spider-Verse. Couldn't remember the name of it because I never really saw the whole thing. Why the fuck would I want to see that, right? But it moves weird. That's a new thing. And it makes me think of all the stuff of like frame rates where they're like, they can do all kinds of crazy shit. Like when the Hobbit came out and people said, I can't look at this. It's giving me a headache because of the new frame rates. I don't even know what the numbers are. It's crazy frame rates. It used to be 24 frames per second, and now it's like 1,000 or something frames per second. So they can throw a lot of shit into the films. Lots of gore, lots of horror, lots of ritual and pagan things. Like, we're doing a ritual. We're doing, like, with blood. This is in 2020 movie trailers. I know it's like horror. Like, yeah, horror movies always have that stuff. No, I mean, like, there's an emphasis on it. There's emphasis on the supernatural and horror and magical powers and don't trust your children. And the kid is like a killer kid. He's a maniac child possessed of demons, and you shouldn't trust your kid. And there's also a movie, you shouldn't trust your parents, and your father will fail you. I'm just like, I wish I could name you the movies, but I've seen so many trailers I can't keep any of this shit straight. But it was just all like a hammer, like inundation. And I watched a lot of different people's, I watched several different people's compilations of the movie trailers. There was a lot of nanotechnology fusing with demons. The idea of magic and science, like the Disney's Onward, which throws a whole bunch of agendas at you, has LGBTQ stuff in it, which I don't know to what degree. The brother's gay or something, or the father was gay or something, I don't know. So it's got magic, it's witchcraft, it's a world like that. Something else that's popular in movies and TV alike is the idea that everyone is being encouraged across the board to take psychedelics, and not just in one episode of a show, but like multiple times. There's a thing on Netflix called Enchanted, and multiple times throughout it, they trip, so you can just have like Major Lazer trip sequences. Do you ever see a Major Lazer cartoon? It's a really great cartoon to get high to. It looks like my sets, all right? So I wanted people to stone out or do whatever they do, and because they were gonna anyway, and get unsocially engineered, and Mr. Jenkum the Doo-Doo Man and everything. I love all my stuff I did here. I got to interject something. Were you one of the few Chosenites that got to see my last episode? I really liked it. I wore a sheet and I played an egregor. I was like a psychic leftover residue of all the filthy stuff Scott used to say. But my backing music was NWA. And when I'm wearing the sheet and I'm talking about NWA, I can't do that. Because it seems like, not born supremacy, but the wrong kind. And I was like, I can't do that. I didn't realize what I did. And then thankfully Indie Defense left a comment and he's like, this is a really good episode and I get it. But they're going to say that this is racist. And he was right. But I didn't realize that until he left the comment. So I saw it and I deleted the episode. And it's a shame because it was 150 minutes of fun and goodness. And I don't know what to do with it unless I edit out the front part that has the NWA song with me wearing a sheet, being a ghost. Because there is like probably over an hour of the episode that I could re-upload. But I'd have to recontextualize it and say, hey, I fucked up in the episode, and put the sheet back on and say I can't play NWA's Nia 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 song and wear a sheet, which is what I did. And Indie Defense was like, funny, I get what you're doing, because he knows I'm not racist. But I was like, no, I wasn't doing that. So I was like, no. So immediate delete. It had like 21 views. And I was like, no, I don't want anybody to think that, because it was off. So there you go. That's my just little, what do you want to call it, addendum or corrections from last episode. Why didn't you get to finish watching it? I apologize. I'll give you the rest of it if you were watching the beginning of it and you didn't clip grab to have the whole thing. If you have the whole thing, hey, congratulations, you got it. But if you didn't get it, I had to take it down because it was like, oh no, it's gonna seem like, I'm horrible because I'm wearing a sheet and I said stuff like white power and everything. Like, no, you can't do that and play NWA music in the background, not that song. And like, no, this is gonna be misunderstood by dumb people. which isn't my audience, which isn't who comes here back over and over again to my open mics. It's thoughtful, intelligent people who leave comments as such. Thank you, Indie Defense. If you want to have it, I'm dedicating this episode to your thoughtful comment and to you having a good week. There's blessings to you for that. Thank you very much, sincerely and truly. I had to take it down. So, to get on with this episode, again, back to movies and the movie trailers that I saw for 2020. It was like, what I feel like I'm seeing is garbage formulas that have been refined like since the 1980s, and they just keep reforming it and repackaging it as the brave new, as we head more and more into a brave new world. And I guess I lost my train of thought now, sorry. As we head more and more into the brave new world, and it's just all shit. It's just all bad. I mean, it's all programming, it's all social engineering. Were we talking about horror movies before? Even in children's stuff, there's a lot of occultism and doing magic. I know Harry Potter, I guess, really opened the floodgates for that. Like a generation of people grew up with magic, and they're like, it's not magic, it's just magic wands. It's not a big deal, but it is. Because now look at what it is. People grew up with magic, and everything's about like paganism and occultism and doing rituals and spells and blood sacrifice. And there's a lot of movies about this stuff, but it's also the way a lot of people who are supposed to be the protagonists in films get their power from magic, and that's evil. Like, you know, you're not supposed to do magic and magic spells and sorcery. That's not anything, that's always bad. That's always, the results are demons. There's no good demons. They're evil, like their purpose is to subvert and pervert. Like all demons are like gremlins, they're supposed to get in there. There's no good friendly mogwai gremlins, alright? That's just an illusory appearance. And you know what I mean? Like, you can't keep that thing in check forever. It's gonna turn to a gremlin, right? So, the mogwais or whatever. It's just demon metaphor. Gremlins. And you can't hang out with demons. Like, Venom is a demon. Get possessed by a demon. He's an alien, it's a demon. There's the Vin Diesel movie with the nanotechnology. I don't know what it's called. They keep wanting to call it Zen the Intergalactic Ninja. That's not what it is. It was from a comic book. But anyway, they can't kill him because the nanites rebuild him instantly. It's like man-made healing factor. So Wolverine has healing factor, he'll heal up right away. Now it's nanites. So they basically just made Vin Diesel Wolverine because he's part of a super soldier program. This is transhumanist agenda stuff. The idea that man will enhance, like, hey, you got a problem? We'll make you better. It's always the promise, but it's never delivered upon. Like, there's stuff that can help people get by, and sometimes they can be a big boon. Like, if you don't have hands, and you have the latest kind of robot hands, that's great, as long as you don't have to wear a chip or something. You know, it's like an upgrade in life. You don't have parts, they gave you parts. You couldn't walk before, now you have blades. Great. And I'm not knocking any of that, but it's the future. Like, you know, they've been putting this in stuff for years. Avatar, the guy's legs don't work, so he goes into the Avatar program to get robot legs. Elysium, District 12, I don't know. All these movies about living in a future where you can't get enough and people are sick, and Battle Angel Alita, it's transhumanist agenda stuff, and everybody's a little, you know, they have robot parts and upgrades, but really they're not doing so great. Like, they're less, they're reduced, they're diminished from it. Here's parts, here's the remnants of a man, and, you know, the artificial, you know, inverted technological world is given in its place or in its stead or whatever. It's, you know, Luciferian version. Here we have everything and it's good. How do we fix anything or heal it? Making new things out of, like, trying to give life to life out of dead matter. You know what I mean? Like the idea of like a part robot, part person, a cyborg. Like, here you have this thing that's not alive, and like somehow it's got a parasitic symbiotic light relationship with a man. It's like demon. It's just like I'm stumbling all over just to come back around to the concept of demon. fusing with science is like fusing with the beast or with the demon or technology. And in the future, that's your power, right? Even Captain Marvel is a transhuman, is blue blood, right? She gets hit with a weapon, with weaponized technology or whatever, and she becomes blue blood. And wow, we didn't even know what we did. She's so super powerful. She's more powerful than Popeye with spinach. She's more powerful than whatever. Isn't she great? So it's more of the same, more of the women kicking ass, taking charge, and the guys just don't cut it. So I'm interested. I haven't even seen A Quiet Place 1, but A Quiet Place 2. I'm interested to hear people's reviews, because they're going to say what I said. Oh, they had to go back and make this movie so that really you get to find out that the woman didn't need him to be a strong man for them ever. So they made a whole movie just to show you that, so nobody can have anything to think about a man. They want a generation of men to grow up filled with hate and fear and guilt and shame. And on some level, you'll know that's wrong to do that to people. So there'll be this injustice that'll be there. It's like a Korean woman's Han or something, just under the surface all the time. And they know that, and they'll prey upon that too. And that's where you get like Malcolm McDowell's Alex in Clockwork Orange. He's, you know, a young autistic man growing up in you know, where we live now, and there's no future for him, there's no hope, and you can have the things of society, but maybe you can, maybe you can't. But no matter what, you have to behave and fit in, because everything will be like this now. And all the entertainment was always shit, but not like it is now. I mean, they have the money, they have the technology, and movies this year, the trailers are more cold and dead and sterile. Like, there's nobody to care about it. Like, being like, you don't see a trailer and like, that looked cool, or, you know, like, nobody seemed cool. It was like, oh, there's two familiar faces. It's Jackie Chan and Arnold Schwarzenegger in like a big sweeping epic thing, and everything can be big and sweeping and epic now, but it looks like shit because it really isn't. Like, there's no escapism. I say it all the time. Like, 2020, the year of no escapism. I said it about 2019, and I might have said it about 2018 too. I'm not sure how far back I've been saying that, but I do know that cinema in 2020, every trailer is men aren't enough. And if it's going to be an action adventure thing, they're in their own isolated little action men world where they're just fighting with each other. I don't know how else to describe it. That's how it is, though. That's what Expendables 3 was like. It was like they're in their own little insular Expendables verse, where it's just dudes fighting dudes and the chicks that are tough enough to hang, and that's it. And it's only because, like I said, may or may not have said before, those old time big actors still have enough clout to have their retirement project movies be good and entertaining, because they were alive when you can do that. Now you're just supposed to go on a ride, get the info. Do you get it? This is how you're supposed to feel. There was a lot of movies about couples. I may have said this earlier, and it was always about like, oh, you can tell like they're gonna break up, or they're maniacs, or how it's not gonna work. It's all about, everything is deconstruction of the idea of a family. They won't work. Dads fail, moms fail. Hey, young women, don't trust men and don't trust older women. Everybody should just stay in their own age bracket, and we'll tell you what to watch and how to think about everything but the movies you watch. And all women should just be instant friends right away, and think each other's great and not trust anybody else. And that doesn't work out great, because it's the opposite. Women are supposed to be alone and isolated, and you give them a kingdom from which to rule with an iron fist, and that's a house. And you build a she shed and all of that she shit. And then when she won't shut up, you bury her behind the she shed, and then you move the she shed back just a little bit, moving over cinder blocks with the buddies on the weekend. Cover up the stink, the horrible stink of your failure. So that's what movies are like. Men are evil, menacing monsters, and so are the children. And if it's a movie for children that's horror, suspense, or thriller, you can't trust adults or parents or grown-ups, because they're either evil or wicked, or they're buffoons or weak. And that could be your mom or your dad or your grandparents. Don't trust anybody. Nobody trusts old people. Don't trust anybody over 30. Don't even let them be alive. We want to get to Logan's Run. All your sci-fi dystopia from the past is like being breathed life into with the latest digital technology, and it's shaping the world we live in. And people just daily like, oh, there's always something to complain about. It's great for my channel on, you know, whatever. How long are people going to be able to complain about this stuff? I don't know. Well, you can complain, but will you be seen? It's going to affect your social credit rating system soon. I don't know if you should. So, yeah, I don't know that there's, like, all the cartoons of stuff for kids, they're fucking dumb. They're about nothing. Zoinks, it's about friendship. Everything's about friendship. And, like, you know what I mean? And if it's a family, they're breaking up. If it's a husband and wife, the guy is a pushover for the woman, and the woman has to get things done. Oh, the Invisible Man. It was about the actress that nobody likes because she just wears on her face like a contemptible look. Like, she's just like, I don't care what happens to that woman. So there's a story of the Invisible Man. It's about a man torturing a woman, gaslighting her. And like what? Like the Bergman flick? What are you talking about? Is it a remake? The Invisible Man? Where they're gaslight, whatever. It's about gaslighting somebody, like torturing them or whatever. There's a lot of this stuff. Being tortured, being an unwitting victim, and you have no choice but to go along with, you know, evil or wickedness, and the idea of comedy, murder, and blood and gore. Still making zombie things. They're making, now more than ever, I would say, 2020 is going to have a lot of demon and devil and blood shit, because that's what I saw, so that's why I said that. And I want to read something now that was written about, if I can find it, about motives. Motives in cinema. Motives, bad motives in storytelling that I wrote down long ago in a book of like art quotes and stuff that I thought were worth writing down. So now I'm going to read it to you from like so many moons ago, probably from like 2010 or maybe even 2006 or something, who knows. But bad motives in storytelling. Characters no longer have spontaneous motives. They're motivated by the following nowadays. 1. Professionalism. An example. Characters fight because they are robot soldiers. They chase criminals because they are cops. They beat competitors because they are sports players. Or else they are interested in sexual conquests. True. Think about it. Think about the movies and like the way that, like, why is the tone different? Why doesn't it seem like okay? And why don't we care about these people? Why don't we care about the characters? Just kind of like get the MacGuffins and grab the items, and it's a game. Hope you get the good ending. Stick around to the ending. Oh, we're gonna get the bonus ending. Stick around for the end credit scene. Love looks pale after seeing it serialized on TV 7 times a week. Yeah, The Bachelor. They want it to. They want marriage to pale. When you see marriage shows year after year, it just makes marriage seem like something people do and get over, as opposed to a thing that's supposed to last a lifetime. Because it is. Men and women were made for each other. Hope I don't fall asleep on you. Professionalism is a kind of non-value view, and it resolves somehow into survival of the fittest thing. Everything then becomes a game. The gamification of movies, hence the gamification of life. You're like Hardcore Henry. The other people don't matter. I'll just get another Shardo Copley. The hell with the girlfriend. The hell with the game. I'm just going to do things my way, and friends are expendable. Hardcore Henry. And very violent. And also like really cool action movie, first-person shooter, beginning of the virus of that kind of thing. Like, what was that? The movie, the war movie, that was all in real time or whatever. Like, it happens, however long the movie is, it was all happening right that way. One continuous shot, faking that. Love is a game of the mind. War is a game of killing. And sports are a game that brings money and fuels the ego. Yeah, it sounds like anime stuff. That's what this is from. This is somebody who's writing about anime, and that's why I went into art books. These are all, like, this is all from, like, well, it's old is the point, but I didn't write this, is my point. Things that are, I mean, I did write it down, and some of this will be my flavor in here or whatever, but this is all somebody, I transcribed something, I'm like, this is worth writing down. And they wrote about the destructions of motives, years ago, I just wish I remembered how many. Things that are born out of situations and fashion cannot become more than that. I'm getting tired. It's true. It's like Picasso. Picasso wanted to make something beautiful, but you can't make anything beautiful if your art is always a deconstruction of something that's whole, and then you take it apart and you put the broken pieces of something back together and then make something beautiful. No. If you wanted to return to classical sensibilities and stuff, then he should have just went back to painting stuff like that and done stuff of beauty. But Picasso's, when you're social engineers, all that deconstructing of everything to make art ugly so that we wouldn't be inspired by art, but it could be a tool used to, traumatize us. Kids today want to be encouraged and still want to learn how to feel the world is beautiful. I agree with this too. That's why I wrote it down. So yeah, there's nothing. I talk about this all the time. There's no, where's movies to uplift mankind? We don't have the best movies haven't been made. What's some of the best we've got so far? What truly do we have that's good? Jesus of Nazareth, directed by Franco Zeffirelli. It was made purposely and willfully to inspire, and it was made to look beautiful, even though all the things about it were, some of the things about it were very ugly. Life at the time was not easy, and it's a beautiful, inspiring film about a guy who gets crucified, right? But not just any guy. The end, okay? So, look at what's out there. Most of it's just time wasters. You don't even have to think about it. You can just watch it and forget about it. Boy, you could always say that about movies and TV if you think about it. Most of it's shit. But it isn't, because you say, no, I saw stuff and it changed my life. Yeah, we watch shit and we get programmed. And that's why men should be in charge. Because look at what women are programmed into. They basically have one thing that's the most important thing. And now they just give it away to anybody. And everybody knows that nobody wants to buy it when it hits the wall and there's been too many dudes inside there. And they keep doing it anyway. They just keep being given new excuses as to why they're validated in such nonsense. Unacceptable. So here's another. I don't know. I think that's enough. But yeah, look what happened. It's all just what are the motives to get things done? I must be the best this. I must be the best that. I know I'm the next American Idol. When they see me shine, when they see my narcissism, when they see that I have something to offer, when they hear what I have to say, I don't know anything. I won't even read one book. But you know what? I'll show them. It's me. I'm not saying that people aren't any good, but it's good enough to just exist. What about, being humble? Anyway, I have also noticed the theme of with women in movies where they're downgrading. We don't necessarily want pretty anymore, or people that can act. We just want people who have rich parents and they're kind of weird looking but good enough to be in movies. So those are your stars. They don't have any charm or charisma or any of those words or whatever it is that you should have for them to like the stars, but they keep giving you stars. I don't know if it's some kind of diversity stuff, whatever, but I think it's just destroy everything old. What are all the old ways? Ruin it. What are the tools we use? The same old tools. What are the movies we're going to make? The same old movies. What are we going to do now? We're just going to invert everything. Whatever the values and morals and ethics of old movies were that made people want to watch them, we're going to do the opposite of that now, because people are so dumb and didn't raise their kids, and then those people grew up and had kids and aren't raising their kids. So now you're just going to watch shit and say, here's how the world works. Your mom doesn't take good care of you. You're not allowed to see your dad, or vice versa. You're with your dad all the time and your mom doesn't want to be around. It's terrible. The point is that families don't stay together for a lifetime. And I don't think I saw a single movie about that, but I did see movies about the dissolution of that, or somebody's dead. Remember the legacy or heritage or whatever you want to call it of Disney orphans where the mother was always dead? Well, now it's a time where all the fathers must die. There's a lot of dead fathers in Disney stuff now. That was something I noticed, not just in Onward where the dad's dead and they bring him back to life, which is necromancy, which is evil. All right, you're not supposed to do that unless unless dad mandates you to be able to do miracles like that. You're gonna do those in the name of Jesus, though. Okay, but that's not you or me. And I'm not seeing movies like that. I did see a movie where a guy did miracles or something. It was like some kind of British movie. And I'm like, I don't know what that about. Looks like they spent a lot of money on this. Somehow it's saying removing the idea of miracles from God. Oh, that's another thing. Crazy religious fanatics that always wind up being some form of Christian. We must sacrifice blood to the Black Mary. They make everything, it's Christianity, but it's like crazy Christian people that are basically Satanists. So they're saying, hey, you know how there's Satanists and Marino Abramovic parties and Jay-Z and James Franco and everybody's Gwen Stefani and I want to hang out with Marino Abramovic who just does outright Satanism? Well, in the movies, what I've noticed in movie trailers for 2020 is that, and this is several things again, and it's not new, they've been doing this for years, is the evil Christian cult that are blood drinkers and worshippers, and they're the ones that do the Satanist stuff that the Satanists actually do. It's a crazy Christian cult. That's another thing. There's a lot of stuff about cults, and I said this already, the cults and the paganism, clone. It's just, everything is shit. It's just like a headache. You know, I mean, like, it was always shit, like you shouldn't watch movies. Think about all the stuff you can do with the rest of your life if you don't watch movies. I wasted mine watching trailers. Why? I want to know the world I live in. And it is toot toot, business as usual. The Jersey trolley is moving along smoothly and throwing boys over the edge as soon as they're done with them, just zipping back and forth. So I saw a lot of shit. I saw like low budget independent stuff too, trying to imitate the big boys. And even that stuff has all this like eugenics, social engineering, dystopian, like everything is grim, even if it's a comedy. There's a lot of beta male stuff in there, like here's a romantic comedy where a girl tolerates a beta male, or like just tropes that aren't new but that I noticed in I noticed in trailers that I just watched. Girl, gay guy best friend, and they've been that way since childhood, and now they're growing up together and blah blah. It's just shit like that. It's like 7 of them. Gay best friend as like the second lead in a movie about 2 friends, and it's a woman who throws it around too much or some shit like that. A lot of stuff that's just be lesbians. Like girls are, guess what? Here's the movie about anything, and then here's the twist. They're lesbians. That's the twist now. Not just Bound in the 1990s with Jennifer Tilly and Gina Gershon or whatever. No. That's back then. That was Wachowski's movie, wasn't it? So anyway, now what do we got? We got men are superfluous. Women don't need men. There's women adventures. Oh, I saw more stuff where part of the breakdown of the family was this woman's gonna cheat on her husband. That wasn't the point of the movie, but you could see those scenes were in there where it's like, oh, the wife is gonna make out with like hot guy that's not her husband. Do you understand that you can't do shit like that even one time? That's like a lifetime. It's a world ruiner when people have affairs. Like you bring people here. You put your shit together in the same building or whatever it is. You're supposed to be building a lifetime with that person so you can get the stage of grandparents. And all I see in movies is about the dismantling of what a family is, what a family does, what a family means, and reshaping it and recontextualizing it by any means necessary. Even if they have to spend millions of fucking dollars when people starve to make a movie for teenagers about animated elf people that go on a road trip just like regular people do to restore the soul of their father or something like that. And all that's left is his traveling pants. It's fucking garbage. But a story can be anything. Yes, that's one of the social engineering program tools, was to make everybody live in fantasy all the time. Constant state of fantasy over and over again. I'm just sick of doing episodes. I did have fun with my ghost thing, but I can't do that again if I'm going to have NWA as my backing track. I'm getting tired. I'm so sleepy I can hardly keep my eyes open. So I'm going to go play with my Hercules action figure. That's a metaphor. So, yeah. Movies and TV are terrible. You can see that movies are being marketed as things Like, go to streaming. Do you get it? Like, go to streaming. Doesn't matter why. They just want you to do that. Go to streaming. A lot of the things that are movie trailers I watched were things that were only going to be on streaming because there's, you know, like only it's 80% Disney movies and 20% everything else. And as Disney can, like Fox Searchlight Pictures, that was never independent films. It's just all shit. All the movies, it's a legacy of filth. The old movies are shit. They just told you, hey, here's how we roll. Here's what we do. Morbius, the living vampire. The old trailers were shit. The new trailers are shit. It's just a new coat of paint on the same old bow. And you know what I mean? They're still worshiping Satan with the horns, sacrificing children to the fire. The kids' movies are inane. Pauly Shore is in a movie. I don't know why this was thrown in with the trailers. I guess because it's funny. It looks like from the creators of Food Fight the Movie comes an update where we have all the patches and everything we need to make a movie that looks less than Open Season. It's just less than Open Season. And it stars Pauly Shore as a stony, crusty bear, and he's on a journey to get animals to someplace, and it's fucking terrible in the trailer and laughable, and the voices didn't match up right with the animation, and it was terrible. And I was like, this is actually interesting because of how way off it is. It's like, this looks like something that TV Carnage or Tim and Eric or whatever, when those guys were around, whatever it is they do. Hey, did Adult Swim decide to hate them, or is it just time for Tim and Eric to go away anyway because of #MeToo and all that? But look at this. I remember this. If you would tag your videos Adult Swim, it didn't like them. Why? Because Adult Swim is a channel of men, and until they can get women in there doing everything, making cartoons that nobody will watch, and make it Adult Swim like what you watch before you go to sleep because it fucking puts you to sleep, then Adult Swim is, I have no idea what's going on over there, but it's gonna suck. It's gonna be like that fucking show for tards. It's like, hey, it's Adult Swim, the community college show. Ugh, whatever. It's fucking terrible, that nonsense. The Heart She Holler. Take those guys' cameras away. Take them behind the she shed, and I'll do it myself. Put those motherfuckers down. The guys that make wonder shows, and put those out of the world's misery. I'll put them down. One shot. I'll make them line their heads up behind each other, and I'll put them down behind the she shed, and we'll slide it back a little bit more. And you know, the she shed is where I stick my cock in the window to be filleted by whoever I'm keeping in there. That's my wife. You want a she shed? Here you go. Bead shit, and catch this. Everything will stick together. You'll never have a problem cleaning up your beads. You know, I'll give you a bead necklace right now. You're gonna be bejizzled. So yeah, everything's crap. And some of these movies have already come out, because what's come out already? Birds of Prey. Look at what we've got. Movies that are bad are being delayed, where they figure out what they can do to like the virus. We're not going to release or do anything because virus, and then we'll like figure it out because they're not going to like what we release. It's going to lose money. How do we figure out how to socially engineer and get our agenda points across? Because that's happening no matter what. Like, that's happening. But how do we make people watch them and pay for stuff or whatever? What are they doing for Agenda 21? We've got like 10 years. I know they're moving fast, but well, how does that affect how we make movies and stuff? We've got writer strikes coming up. We've got all the streaming wars. We've got Disney hemorrhaging money. We've got whatever's going on with China. And eventually I say China buying Disney, and it's just the media. Netflix is already an evil thing. Does it matter if Netflix, you know, like some countries just say, no, we don't want Netflix because it's, you know, social engineering. Like Russians are like, no, we don't want, we don't have Netflix. They asked Putin. They said, no, we don't have Netflix because it's government mind control operation. Right? It is. They even do Netflix shows called Black Mirror. They say, here's the episode of Black Mirror, and then you say, oh, here it is in a newspaper, or more likely, here it is on my phone. They have that thing now, and then people do the video about it. Did you see the thing on Black Mirror? That's new. They have that now. Yeah, I know. So it's a weaponized pop culture. Every movie you see is an attack, and every commentary is going to be one not liking it. And everyone that does like those things, it's working, or you're asleep, or you just didn't put on the Rodney Dangerfield glasses from They Live. Because it's funny. where we live. Roddy Piperfield is a good man. I wish they were both still here. I favor both of those guys, all right, more than a lot of other guys who are still here. So what do you want me to say? It's just more, it's this legacy of filth. More garbage now more than ever. They have the technology. They're only going to spend the good CGI on the most horrible, gory things that the evil people like to see. They, Soylent Green is people. Anything about a young woman is how she shouldn't trust anything in the world except maybe her sisters, and everything is a manipulable playing piece for her to use. And men are superfluous, just give them nothing. This is your role. Submission. It's just inversion. It's what everything's opposite. Men are supposed to be in charge, and women are supposed to be, yes dear, or whatever. I know. No, men and women together, one flesh, making it work. That's what we're made for. It's a planet of people who are literally made for each other, like men and women were made for each other to pair up and stay together for a lifetime. And all that they're going to give you in movies and TV for the next 10 is making sure that you don't like that anymore, until they can break you off and break you down and push everybody into the Plandopolis mega smart city. And I don't want that. I know the truth. I've been on airplanes. We need to spread out. Okay, there's plenty of room for everybody and everything, and plenty of time for us to learn how to take care of a little piece of something, a piece of ass, a piece of land. Why? For peace of mind. For what? For peace on earth. For who? For all mankind. Amen. Amen to that, brother. My brother from another mother, or sister from another mother, whatever. We're all the same father. You know that, though. It's the planet daddy issue. Trying to get everybody to be good. Why don't you call your father? I gotta throw that in there. You're watching too many movie trailers. Yeah, there you go. 2020, the year in another year of destroying men. I used to say, what are I getting rid of father figures? Yes, ultimately, because it's God the Father, right? That's what we have. So get rid of the father and become godless heathens, drink blood, eat people, sacrifice to Baal. There's lots of cannibalism in movies and trailers. There's magic. It's all evil. Do you know what magic is? You're not supposed to do magic. It's all evil. The results of magic are demons and evil. Do you really think you can hang out with the Prince of Lies? He's going to like you? Oh, no, you're one of the cool ones. You're one of the cool ones. You're going to hang out with the devil and his minions. No. The whole point is that you're consumed and destroyed, and they live off of you when you realize the horror of the reality of what you've gotten yourself into, and that there's no way out because you know, or whatever, unless begging and praying to God and Jesus to come save you, because that's always how it is. What happens when shit gets serious? I don't know if you exist, but if you do, God, please save me. You're begging because you know how it works, and you're playing some stupid little game in your life. And no, this is not a diary. I'll show you this. This is where I put art quotes in. It's got all stuff in, well, not a lot, but it's all interesting stuff that artists had said, even if I like them or not. If they're making a commentary that was an observation on stuff that I believed, that what they were doing with art was a degradation of it, to degrade it so that nobody had the talent, skills, or ability to paint the quality of stuff that was in the Louvre or anything else of the great works. They wanted all the great works to be reduced because they were created by man. So to reduce man, create all of his greatest works. Pave paradise and put up a parking lot, or a Plandopolis mega smart city. And if anything's going to look beautiful, it's going to be of technology, and it's going to be beautiful only to the wicked, and it's going to look like, oh, that doesn't look beautiful at all. It's creepy and weird. Yes, perverted, distorted minds that want to ruin all mankind. Those possessed by demons that serve the devil, Satan, Lucifer, the fallen one, whatever you want to call him. It's all the same guy, all right? And there's a show on TV called Lucifer now, and all the movies are about the destruction of exactly what it is we're here for. A planet of women made for each other to pair up for a lifetime, to have smiling, happy families, and figure out how to have world peace, which apparently is pretty easy because Lady Rothschild, I don't know, I think she's pretty sharp. She said, if my sons wanted world peace, they could have it really fast. And I believe her. They say that. Hashtag believe her. I believe Lady Rothschild. I believe you could have world peace really fast. And the more time goes on, the more degraded we become. I see how easier world peace is because I saw how the peace I grew up with my whole life was disturbed and taken away from those around me. And maybe blessedly, perhaps, a lot of good people just got old and died before they could see the degradation that I continue to live through. And you can too. And maybe you're growing up here and you have no idea that's what's happening because you're growing up here and you're like, everything's fine, we're great. No, they're degrading us inside and out with what they feed us and with what they feed us, what we eat into our food supply, and what they put inside of our brains. Who's they? The wealthy elite whose fortunes control the fates of nations, and yet they continue to create conflicts so that we can go to our own unwitting perdition and be godless, evil, wicked heathens. Reject the Father. It's Planet Daddy issue. Everybody's main issue is a fear of rejection. And that fear of rejection is that you'll be rejected by God because of your sins. So they don't want you to think about that. But you should. Because I think your Father that loves you probably could be lenient for a lot of things you've done. Because you're probably not one of the real contenders. Alright? The stuff you've done that you should feel horrible about that would give you the fear of God. You're like, oh no, this is what this means. Go read Proverbs. Or like a lot of things from the Bible that are the opposite of everything that's being hot beef injected into every single stinking, vile, load, cummy-filled movie of just toxic demonology. It's not toxic masculinity. Men are supposed to be in charge, so destroy them, dismantle them, take away everything in their stead, which is dominion over the earth and all its creation. And, you know, men and women together, one flesh. All right, you find somebody, you pair up, you world build, you build a lifetime with them. You can't do that anymore when you tell a couple generations with movies and TV after World War II, and even before then with the flappers in the 1920s. Tell women to go out there and be loose. It's nothing new. They did it in the olden days. Yeah, that's why Jesus showed up. He had to set everything straight. All right, get shit right for all of us, and he did. That's what that story is about. And if it doesn't make sense, it's only because they haven't made a decent movie about it that they could get you to watch. And now what would you watch about it? The most goriest version of the life of Jesus? It's all about the horror? No, we need something to uplift and inspire. We already know about the horrors of life and all the gore and horror. You shouldn't be doing, like, some of the movie trailers were like the goriest movies of 2020. You know, that is the thing, because there will be those. And what are they? But why? Why do you live in such a fat, opulent, rich lifestyle where even poor people can have a cell phone, a magic scry stone, and you can watch violence and pornographies where people are actually, those people really fucked and they filmed it, and these people didn't really die, but they made dead bodies out of foam and they covered them with blood, and it really disturbed me when I saw it. Why do you want to be disturbed? Why? It's a weaponized pop culture. They're telling us like, hey, we're going to make shit for you and traumatize yourself. And if you don't like it, fuck you. You're an ist, an ism, or a phobe. And if you are any of those things, then you should feel terrible about yourself instead of learning the errors of your ways. There's no room for error anymore. Like, you should grow and learn. It's just like, as a bad person, once you're a bad person, you're always a bad person. You just need to go. Where's the redemption arcs? There's no hero's journeys. There's no characters arcs. There's no redemption. There's just sympathy for characters that remain evil until they lose. That's it. And then they lose, and Thanos just disappears and fades away. But there's no remorse or regret, or like that they're, you know what I mean? Like, it's all, look at the evil Lucifer character is sympathetic. Sympathy for the devil. It's a phrase. It's a Rolling Stones song. A black man was murdered at the Altamont Music Festival when the Rolling Stones played it, and George Lucas filmed it. That's the world we live in. The richest people in the world worship the fucking devil. And the proof of this is the Gothard Tunnel opening celebration. An €8 million, one-time only special show with dancing and lights for the wealthy elite who paid for the largest underground tunnel that leads to the CERN Hadron Collider, which is built on a biblical spot where they said the portal to Addendum was. Why? Why did they spend so many years digging into a mountain so that they could cling that Hadron Collider inside of there? Fuck the Mandela effect and all that nonsense. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. It's to make us doubt the world we live in, further dope us up, drug us up, make us feel hopeless, helpless, and this is the ultimate thing, apathy. Movies and cinema and everything you see, watch, and do is attacking you to put you on, it's like apathy quest. Get everybody apathetic. That's people you can control easily, and if you push them in the right way, you can get them to go along with shit. Like whatever you want to do with them, get people apathetic, because you can get them apathetic people are irritated people. What do they say about misanthrope? You can't spell misanthrope without R-O-P-E at the end. And when you're at the end of your rope, you're a misanthrope. It's a horrible place to be. And a lot of times I would get like that. It'd be like the young people were like, look at how these people are. Like, we can't go on like this. They shouldn't have kids. These people shouldn't even be allowed near kids. They'll be mean to them. They'll ruin them, whatever it is. We have like dead end generations. What are we going to do with these people? We should 5G them. We should, whatever we got to do it. That's a misanthrope. No, the people were programmed horribly. All right? Sometimes a breakdown is a breakthrough. Is that going to work for everybody? No. But I can't help but think that once the smart cities are built and people realize that they've lost like their soul to live in them, all right, that they're going to want to die and jump out the windows. And that's when they'll get sprayed with soap or whatever it is to keep them there so that they can suffer. Because, that's how it is. Like, there's a thing called evil, and it wants to make God, our creator, suffer by making us deny him. And that's where we live. It's so very simple. It's very cut and dry. It's not at all like a yin-yang or anything like that. It's not black and white, but it is good and evil, okay? And it's not like another thing I saw in a lot of movies in 2020, but not just, not movies, but the trailers. This idea of things aren't really evil. It's like there's a gray area, and it's in that gray area where there's balance. So it's like a little bit of evil when it requires darkness, but we should be good most of the time, and it doesn't work out. Remember that from Doctor Strange? It doesn't work out with Tilda Swinton. They even put that in a Marvel movie. Nope, she decided to use darkness and evil, and that's what got her. And she was the super ancient Chinese master Tilda Swinton, the trainer of Doctor Strange and everybody else who knows what they're doing. But she was a witch. They're encouraging a young generation of women to be witches. And how did they start that? Fucking think about Monster High dolls and all that shit when that was coming in. When maybe you had kids and they were growing up and all that shit they were throwing at them, like vampires, the Cullen family. Hey, you should become a soulless creature that feeds off the blood of the living. Yeah, join the Cullen. Hey, you have a mom and a dad? That's not a real family. Forget about that werewolf boy. Forget about the diversity love. Go after the blue blood. Marry a Cullen and have an unholy Elon Musk transhumanist baby or whatever that is. Twilight. 5 books of Twilight. And they're like, well, Twilight's over. Now what do we do? 50 Shades of Grey. Do you know that fan fiction in cinema isn't a new thing? You can think of a lot of, like, M. Night Shyamalan put himself in Lady in the Water. But it goes back further than that. Alfred Hitchcock put himself in movies. But I don't know. I just thought of that, so I wanted to throw it in there. Something else I wanted to say about the fan fiction thing. That's what's been put into movies. So they call it fan fiction, but it's also part of the gamification of movies and the gamification of life, so that you think of the world like you're an avatar and everything else is just the ancillary background stuff in your world. Like Hardcore Henry was in 1917 and whatever else they make next. We're gonna have like some girl movie that's like first-person perspective movie, like Mall Quest or something. It's all about her narcissism quest, about how she's held back and needs to be empowered, and when she puts everybody else in her place. It's just fantasies. What happens in real life is people realize they're wrong, and what used to happen is they had shame and humility, and they felt bad, and they changed. And everybody, got over it in time, and some people wouldn't, and they were a jerk about it. But then they got, like, we're all learning But now it's just like, no, double down. We have a whole bunch of people giving you all the excuses you could possibly need for a lifetime of how it's still somebody else's fault. Hence all the trailers I saw for 2020 about where people are the unwitting victims of something and they get caught up in some kind of horror movie so they can have like a thriller or a drama or a comedy thriller thing. The guy's smartphone, the guy from Workaholics, his smartphone falls in love with him, and then it's like a thing from the 80s where the computer fell in love with the guy or something like that. Well, now the guy's smartphone falls in love with him, but it broke up with him, so it's ruining his life. That's the romantic comedy. That's any kind of a comedy. There's not a lot of comedy sauce. There was some kind of thing where Charles Lindbergh became the evil fascist dictator of America if he'd become president, rewriting history so that all men are toxic. Lucky Lindy, he flew across the Atlantic and the Lindbergh baby and the German stole his kid, and it was a thing that traumatized a generation, the death of the Lindbergh baby, because they showed the dead baby in the photos and in the window or whatever the fuck it was. And a point in newspaper or something like that, and traumatized a generation. Anyway, the point is, rewriting history, Abraham Lincoln, vampire hunter, Charles Lindbergh, evil fascist dictator of America, making Thor like he was a real guy or something that hung out with Sherlock Holmes and Robin Hood, who knows. But yeah, it's dumbing down. Like, here's what's acceptable, and you only get this because we have the money to make stuff. And now people can make their own movies and films, but it's not the same thing as people have all the money to throw into it. So do I really see a future where people will watch like independent movies made by nobody filmmakers? No, they probably won't. And there'll be no place where you can go to find those things. So there's still, it's like still a completely controlled system as ever 'twas thus. But there was a time to get in there and make a name for yourself and decide whether you wanted to join up. So now they're closing all that back up again. So what can you do? You can complain about movies, you know, and do what I do, or maybe you can do it in a different way, where you didn't get noticed and you still get the hits. You don't say fuck or cock or anything like that. But you know, this is how I do them. So thank you for hanging out with me. What did I notice from trailers of 2020? It's just more men bashing. Keep bashing men. Full steam ahead, ladies. And just keep bashing the idea that a man could take care of a family, a woman, have a girlfriend, be a good man, that he should even try. He should run away when there's an emergency. Like, people are just like, here, watch this. And everybody's like, people aren't like this. We don't want to watch this. And they're like, no, you are. Just do that. And a lot of people are just like, okay, we'll go back to sleep. Just make it, be nice. Give me Sour Patch Kids and whatever. Sour Patch Kids and Ben & Jerry's ice cream, and I'll mix them up together. And I'll watch my Netflix and chill and get pregnant. And then give the baby away. Because you're like, you know, whatever. Like, I'm not ready to be a mom yet. I'll give it to Jennifer Garner. You know, like whatever. Just have a baby, just give it away. It's like have Slurpees, fuck beta males. It's stupid. Just be stupid. Just waste your life, hit the wall, and go, oh, wait a minute. I didn't build anything when I was here. I did it all in Minecraft, and then somebody fucked up my Minecraft thing and ruined all the stuff I built there. Or you can't get on that server anymore. So it's just like, it doesn't exist. You didn't have enough social credit things. You had to sell off all your Minecraft real estate. Why don't you just get someplace in real and fight Agenda 21 to the death to stay there? Or the weird Miyazaki virus that turns everything into mushrooms, like Valley of the Wind or whatever. That was the guy whose quotes it was that I was using earlier. That weirdo from Japan. From the book of quotes, that's who it was. It was Miyazaki's things that he didn't like about storytelling, which is why he was retiring for like the 7th time or whatever. It was from a long time ago. And so, what else can I say to you? If there's anything I'm forgetting that I should remember? They'll probably remake E.T. Indiana Jones, I hope he falls in a mud flop. I hope that like 7 times in Indiana Jones, like he falls down in cow shit and his face is like, oh, and he does a look and like, why'd you do that to me? And they put cow shit on his face like digitally, and like, it looks really realistic. Because he never would have let him do that. But they have to shit on Indiana Jones. Hey, Mutt Williams was there. Get rid of him. Indiana Jones needs a daughter he didn't know about. Willie had an illegitimate daughter with Indiana Jones, and she's better than him, and now Indiana Jones is an old fuddy-duddy. Oh, Dad. Oh, well, whatever. I hate Harrison Ford. He's a dick. So, fuck movies. They're shit. You need movies that uplift and inspire mankind, and not to join some kind of weird blood-drinking cult, the demonization of Christianity, the demonization, the making demonization cool. Like to be possessed by a demon, it's cool. It's also dangerous and evil and wicked, but if it's the right kind of spirit that you can control, then you're like the Guyver or Devil Man or whatever. Nanotechnology, transhumanist agenda, Julian Huxley, Aldous Huxley. Julian Huxley coined the term transhumanism. Aldous Huxley wrote Brave New World. They had plans for the future, and it was Luciferian inversion of all of Father's creation and taking his image and likeness and perverting it and subverting it and letting things go on like that, which that's not part of the story. They're only just going to make them come back, and I'm sure they think they have something planned for that, and it fails. So yeah, I don't know, I'm done. I'm babbling now. So, no more movies and TV, and no more video games, and I know none of those things are good anyway. Why don't you just get on the earphones with the game and say, fuck the game, and just talk to your friends, and you're like, watch a movie with earphones on or something like that if you don't want to get together in the same place. I don't know. People should communicate. The internet's great for that. We're communicating, and now we need to keep talking about why we can not accept these movies. But think about it. It makes this industry collapse. The West makes movies for the rest of the world. No matter what, they're only going to hire useful idiots. Nobody who will make anything any good is going to be allowed to say those things. No messages that don't lead towards the hive mind mentality. The hive mind mentality of the people in charge of Hollywood will not fucking allow anything other than hive mind movies. All movies are the same movie until they get it. We'll win. We'll just keep, it won't be easy, but we'll just keep doing it. We'll get them, girls. It's idiocy. They're fucking idiots. Dumb, stupid bitches that need to listen to men, but the men don't know how to lead, so there's nothing that they have to say. So who are you going to listen to? Some idiot on YouTube? Hey, it's better than nothing. Thanks for hanging out with me. I liked hanging out with you. It's a weird convoluted hang, but hey, sometimes you save my ass. Thanks, Indie Defense. I'm sorry if there's a number after that. Indie Defense. You're going to think I was racist gender. And now I'm just an evil, toxic, masculine white man that believes in God and Jesus and the Bible and believes there's enough room for all the races and enough room for all of us. I want us to fall in love with each other and spread out instead of falling in love with ourselves and watching the world burn down around us and not preventing that from happening. While the wealthy elite go to live as beasts while the whole planet is theirs, and we're living elbow to asshole, eating each other. Literally, the Walking Dead. You fucks. I'm telling you, it's not gonna work out for you guys. Dad's coming. Dad knows already. He already knows what you've been doing. Why do we have to, Lord? Why do we have to keep suffering these fools? I want it. I get it. I don't get it. I mean, I couldn't possibly, but I want it. My Father's kingdom on earth as it is in heaven. I want that. It'd be so much better than the movies they give us. They're just not good enough. I guess I'm just leave you with that. The movies, they're just not good enough. Why don't you just be good? Stop watching the movies. They're more bullshit now than ever. You want to know how people are being programmed? Watch the trailers, be informed. Watch this, be informed. Keep your money in your pocket. I do these for free for as long as I can. For as long as I have the oomph to do it. I'll probably be back for a Sunday sermon, but why not? Sunday. Here's Saturday episode. Have fun. Maybe I'll throw up somewhere the ghost. The part of the ghost I can let you see. I got to cut that out. Maybe I'll throw that onto the end of this. Maybe I'll throw outtakes onto the end of this. I know I got them. Hey, maybe this will be really long. I'll tell you what. I'm going to end this episode now, mercifully. If you see outtakes and you don't like them, stop watching. But if you see the ghost, then then that's the ghost, and then after the ghost will be outtakes. So there you go. I'm working, I'm getting better. As long as I'm allowed to make YouTube videos and you get to see them at this free open mic here, I will try to socially engineer you so we can survive this increasingly weird Aeon Flux MTV weirdness that we get into. I don't know why MTV. Yeah, why not MTV? Mind control television. Weaponized pop culture. Watch the Jersey Shore. Fuck, be the Jersey Shore. You know what you should do? Take pills and go shopping. But I'm not rich. I know, you're just supposed to live the lifestyle. Whatever. Isn't that like, what's the difference between the Kardashians and the Lebowskis? Money? They know what to do with it. Robert Kardashian is not Lebowski's father. Okay, granted. Lloyd Bridges had money though. Jeff Bridges has money. I don't know. I'm gonna get out of here now. Movies and TV. It stinks. That's the critic. And I don't even like John Lovitz. Can I get out of here or what? I'm gonna go. I'm leaving you now. Be good. Peace be still. Peace be with you. These are the outtakes. Duh. Movie trailers 2020. Should I call 2020 the year of what's wrong with Dad? He's either dead or he's Jordan Peterson out. Dad's not well. He's Javier Bardem. He's Will Ferrell. Dad failed us. Father failed us. They have to make A Quiet Place Part 2 to go back to before when it all happened and say, you know what? That guy from The Office, he wasn't a hero. Mom was the one that was in charge ever since the beginning, or something like that. Every movie is just trashing men, and if it's a white man, he's evil. I want to talk about something old that you may or may not be old enough to remember. In the 1980s, and you can prove this by films, they always had gangs, but the gangs were always like ethnically mixed. Oh, it's a bunch of bad dudes from the wrong side of the tracks. But that's not how gangs were. Like if you're in a place that had gangs, they're black. All right, unless you're like in the South and you're a black guy and you're like, oh no, that guy. Those are a gang of white guys and they're gonna murder the black guy or whatever. But that's how it was in the world. Like there wasn't gangs of punk rockers torturing people. Punk rockers like emos and goths, and they just look like they are now. Like they just look stupid and they're non-threatening and they're dorks and they have, you know what I mean, and they have asthma and they go home to their parents and they have mohawks because you can't survive like that out in the world. So in the 80s I always had these gangs of like, oh no, it's like a biker gang and they have mohawks and leather jackets. It's all white dudes or something. Or it's like a Cannon movie or Death Wish where it's like a gang but it's like all these different like dirtball various races guys, and there's a black guy, an Hispanic guy, an Asian guy, and don't believe me, go look at all that weird shit. So it's like, it doesn't make any sense. Even in the 1980s they were doing this bullshit. So when I watched the trailers I was like, what are the trailers gonna be like with Agenda 21 and Agenda 30? We're like, here's a movie about gang violence in the UK, and it's like all black dudes and they have like Somali accents and stuff, or it's just, they don't even speak English anymore over there. It's just like some other, whoever's over there now, and it's like, yes, we must kill the last of the white people. I don't know, this is terrible. Movie trailers 2020, or should I call this episode Movie Trailers 2020, or should I call it, wait a minute, I said that. Movie Trailers 2020. Should I call 2020 the year of what's wrong with Dad? Javier Bardem, Will Ferrell, Negan from The Walking Dead. If the dad isn't just dead like in Disney's Onward, don't worry, we don't need Father. We can all go on without him. We'll bring him, I don't know, whatever it is, like Weekend at Bernie's. You get 24 hours to half of your dad's dead body or whatever. Why is everything infested with magic and nanites? And all the people who are good characters have to use magic, have magic powers, or summon demons. All these things are things you're not supposed to do or have. Alright? So why is everything like Harry Potter? And then Harry Potter's in a movie where he has guns tied to his hands and he has to fight the 98-pound Uber bitch. Right? It's just, everything's garbage. It's hollow, it's vapid, it's empty. It seems like Japanese anime. There's something I wrote down in a book. I called it my diary, but it's just a place I keep art quotes. And in this thing with art quotes in it. I'm gonna read one to you from Japanese most beloved pervert Hayao Miyazaki, because I think it applies to movie trailers, what I saw in 2020, which we'll get into. But I want to read this up front so you can maybe think about some of the things I said here in Hayao Miyazaki's Bad Motives for Storytelling. This is from an interview he did. Somehow it came my way, and it says characters no longer have spontaneous motives. I think somebody writes like, you would like this, and they showed me this interview. Characters no longer have, and I did. Characters no longer. This is the reason why I can't even tell what I said. I'm like going through fast. I feel like I have to say everything right away, or I'll forget what's in my brain, which never happens. I have infinite storage capacity. Don't test me. I don't want to blow up like Anastasia's parents. 2020's movie trailers. Should I call 2020 the year of what's wrong with dad? Yeah, all the dads in movies are Jordan Peterson out. I'm failing my family. I need to go to my room. Javier Bardem, he's a coma dad. He has a little piglet daughter or whatever. Oh, my dad, I'm worried about him. And then, who else? Will Ferrell. You betrayed our family. You abandoned us. That's another thing. Why is everything, like other people's reviews are complaining about, oh, the men always run away from the scene. Like they're putting it in movies now, like, hey, I saw several trailers like this. Something happens and it's supposed to be funny that the man runs away and abandons his woman, his wife. There's so many things I've seen. It's all just filth. I'm not kidding. They're laying it on thick. I want to summarize the trailers I've seen this year. Maybe I should go through genre. Comedy, that's the easiest one to go through. There wasn't a lot. There's a lot of movies that have lots of special effects. That's comedy now. You know what I mean? Like comedic elements to films, whether it's CG animated, children's entertainment. Everything seems more aimed at adults. And I'm like, what's for kids? Like, nothing. Everything's like Peter Rabbit is a vegan. And he's having adventures in the city. Get out of the countryside. Oh, we need to learn how to live in the city. This is Plandopolis mega city social engineering is what Peter Rabbit has become. You know, Beatrix Potter's Peter Rabbit. It's Plandopolis mega city, vegan. You know, Soylent Green is people. I mean, the BBC, British Broadcasting, Sky was a Sky Entertainment. Horrible. There was so much. President. I mean, I'm just gonna. I can't even keep it straight. Ow! I saw movie trailers 2020, and I saw 7. Nope. Movie trailers, faggot. No. Fuck. Movie trailers. Movie trailers 2020. We could call 2020 the year of what's wrong with dad. Javier Bardem's laying in a bed. He has to have everybody take care of him. He's like, I'm like Jordan Peterson. I'm going to be in my room, okay? And all the dads are inept, inane. They're doing A Quiet Place 2 just so they go back in time and show you that John Krasinski from The Office just really actually wasn't all that together like they portrayed him or whatever in the first movie where he sacrificed himself like a good little man. In every movie, sacrifice yourself or you're evil or whatever. Why can't I do these? I don't know. Be good.